Today, the head of Texas DPS revealed new details about the law enforcement response to the Uvalde school shooting and called it a failure.
Senate and House committees holding separate hearings at the state capitol today on the shooting that left 19 kids and 2 teachers dead in Uvalde just 1 month ago. The House hearing happened behind closed doors, and the Uvalde CISD police chief, Pete Arredondo, showed up to testify today.
Testimony in the Senate hearing was public. Now, this is a live look at the Senate chamber right now, where the Senate hearing is still going on. And earlier today, DPS Director Steve McGraw detailed what police did while they were on the scene.
There's compelling evidence that the law enforcement response to the attack at Robb Elementary was an abject failure and antithetical to everything we've learned over the last 2 decades since the Columbine massacre.
Tonight, we have team coverage of the hearings.
Senior reporter Tony Plahetsky here in the studio with us. Matt Fernandez is live at the state capitol this afternoon. We start tonight with Tony, who's been following the Senate hearing all day today.
And Tony, the director of DPS, calling the law enforcement response a failure. That is pretty significant.
I have to say, his comments, which spanned hours, were devastating, and frankly, they were scathing. According to Steve McGraw, he is the director of the Texas Department of Public Safety, and he gave a minute-by-minute account investigators have put together using security and body camera footage. And then he gave a stark conclusion that law enforcement failed to act quickly enough. McGraw said that within minutes of the first officers arriving, they had enough firepower and protection to do anything possible to stop the gunman, and that they did so, and that they had a duty to do so. He said even one officer, he said, would have been enough to act more quickly, but that instead, more than an hour passed before a team breached that classroom door.
3 minutes after the subject entered the West Building, there was a sufficient number of armed officers wearing body armor to isolate, distract, and neutralize the subject. The only thing stopping a hallway of dedicated officers from entering room 111 and 112 was the on-scene commander, who decided to place the lives of officers before the lives of children. The officers had weapons, the children had none. The officers had body armor, the children had none. The officers had training, the subject had none.
And we now know that much of that time was spent trying to find a key to the classroom door, even though we know now that there is information based on body camera footage that no officer had even tried to open it. And McGraw says it is possible that the door wasn't locked in the first place, a possibility that officials say we may never officially know the answer to. Finally, we learned today that officers apparently had trouble communicating with each other as they were trying to figure out what to do. Their radios did not work inside that school, apparently, likely because of a bad cell phone signal. One final note, and we heard him do it just in that soundbite. McGraw placed the blame today on Pete Arredondo, the chief of the Uvalde School District Police Force, saying that he made a series of bad decisions. Senators did ask why officers didn't simply just go past him, but McGraw warned that doing so could have potentially created more confusion and more danger.
Unbelievable. And Tony, I know that we've had these kinds of hearings after each and every mass shooting that's happened in the state of Texas. What makes these hearings so much different than the ones we've had over and over again before?
Well, typically a lot of the times when we've had similar hearings in the past, they were driven by policy decisions. What is somewhat different about these 2 hearings, of course, both in the House and the Senate, is that these are to an extent investigative in nature, where lawmakers, similar to, frankly, after the power issues we had last year, where lawmakers are trying to get to the bottom of a complex issue and then potentially make laws based on the outcome of those investigations.
From the people you've spoken with involved in this, are the answers we're hearing now enough?
I mean, will we ever really have a complete picture? I mean, that's the question. And then how do you make sense of that information? And I think that's the question that the citizens of Uvalde and the parents of those 19 children, the loved ones of the 2 teachers, are going to be grappling with for the rest of their lives.
For those parents, it may never be enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Tony. Senior reporter Tony Polhetsky live with us here at the desk today. Tony, thanks. Matt Fernandez does join us now from the Capitol. He's been following the House hearing today.
And Matt, the Uvalde School District Police Chief did testify in that hearing today. Is that right?
He did. Chief Pete Arredondo testifying in front of an investigative committee behind closed doors in executive session.
What do you think to say to the parents? We've called for your resignation.
Chief, McCraw said that you were wrong in the moment.
Chief, what do you have to say about the shooting?
This is Chief Arredondo leaving the hearing in the elevator, not answering any questions from the media. This after he met with an investigative committee today that included House of Representative Dustin Burrow. The committee hearing testimony from law enforcement related to the facts and circumstances of the events related to the shooting at Robb Elementary. Arredondo has been very quiet since the shooting. He was the incident commander on site where 19 students died along with 2 teachers on May 24th. Officers waited more than 70 minutes to confront the shooter, and Arredondo was one of 2 people testifying today. Back to you.
Our Matt Fernandez reporting for us live at the state capitol. Matt, thank you.